Join us for the very first IFL Live at London's Indigo at the O2, Sunday, August the 13th, with me, KUGAN CASSIUS, and some very special guests. Eddie Hearn, Darren Barker, Johnny Fisher and more. Tickets now on sale. So in the words of Eddie Hearn...
You get up, you dress up, and you fucking show up.
This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV. What are you doing, mate?
Right here. You got me where you want me, cause we're right here. Right here. Yeah, baby.
Back in the day.
Yeah, it's, what is it, 3 in the morning? We're on the way home from the club. What a night. Unbelievable. Banging.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm alright. It's been a long day, isn't it? What is it, 20 past 9? On the way back from JD, actually, on Oxford Street, doing a little after hours appearance ahead of the big AJ fight this Saturday. It's been a busy week, but I'm buzzing. We're on top, we're winning. A couple of days to go.
Got to shout out Matty Lawless, whose people can't see the work he's doing right now. But this is
Matty
a man,
Lawless,
this is a chameleon, literally, yeah.
Do you think when Matty Lawless joined Matchroom that he thought he'd be holding a camera for KUGAN CASSIUS in the back of a Viano? Probably not.
Matt, no.
Got to be versatile in this game.
Absolutely, you've got to adapt to any situation, which is kind of what you do, Eddie, isn't it? When things fuck up and go wrong, you just get on with it.
You got to be a problem solver, you know?
I don't believe all that, by the way.
What do you don't believe?
I do believe at some point you think, right, fuck it, we've got to do something. But I don't believe you don't have a little cry every now and again and think, fuck, what's happened again?
Not anymore. Honestly. Absolutely numb and emotionless to problems. I don't know if it's an age thing or just... I think it might be, because my old man couldn't... Like, he's the same. You never see my old man go, oh no, oh, what are we going to do? He's just like, no problem, don't worry about it. Do that, on you go. So, and I've always quite admired that mindset, but I definitely used to panic and worry a lot more about things, especially when things went wrong. But honestly, when I got the Dillian Whyte message, I think I just looked up and went, "Are you done that to me again? I cannot believe you've done that." And that was it.
Moved on.
But I don't know what else, you know. There's no value in losing the plot, smacking the wall, crying. I don't know. Just get on with it. It's, you know, solve the problem. And also, I've learned in life as well, things are never as bad as you think they are at the time.
You've always said this, to be fair.
Do you agree? You know when you
depends what's happening though, isn't it?
But anything, you will always. Things always get better with time. You know? I know obviously some situations
right, well,
are worse.
Depends how deep you want to go with this. But
Mate,
right.
just you don't have to analyse everything I say, just fucking agree with it.
No, I get what you say, but are you talking about from a business sense?
Anything, actually anything. So, let's look at the worst thing that could ever happen. I can't believe we're going here, but like, a family member passes away. Grief always lightens over time. You always miss that person. You'll always have grief, but things will get better than how you're feeling right now. So the message is, however you're feeling right now, things will get better about a situation. That situation over time will get better, and also you'll look back and think, actually, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was at the time. It was only a line. It didn't need a 3-minute analysis.
All right, well, listen, it's late night. We've just come out of the club, had a kebab, and we're on our way up. Eddie, with regards to Joshua, a lot has been picked up on kind of the criticism that Joshua's had, especially obviously after your TalkSport interview. But in general, where do you think the public sits with Joshua right now?
I mean, you got to sometimes understand social media is not real, and the noise you hear on social media, particularly Twitter and stuff like that, is not really the general feeling of the man on the street. And I feel that as well, because sometimes I get a load of stick on Twitter, and I haven't even had a chance to read a lot of Twitter this week. I've read more comments on Instagram or whatever, and people stopping me on the street. I almost feel half popular this week, which is unbelievable. But with AJ, I think the general public admire the guy. I think they love the guy. But at the same time, I think the boxing public always have their thoughts and opinions and are louder than others in those opinions. And whether they think he's to blame for not fighting Wilder or Fury, or he's overrated or whatever. I mean, you know, it's just that the opinion of the boxing community is very loud, you know?
You come on to two fights there, and even when I asked Joshua the other day about Wilder, he's not obviously focused on Wilder, which is 100%. He's got to still do this job against Salinas this week, but when
guys.
Were you hungry?
I'm starving.
Del Boy was in there though.
Mm.
Listen, if someone, I know you're not going to put blame on yourself, but you talk about them fights there with Tyson Fury and Wilder, but forget Wilder for a minute. Whose fault is it actually that this fight never happened? If you're going to answer subjectively.
There's been a few occasions, isn't there? I mean, I don't take any notice of the one a month ago or whatever. That was just to be able to say, yeah, we tried to fight Joshua, but and he wouldn't take it, so we're fighting Ngannou. That fight was already in discussion and done. The last time, we signed for the fight. He lost his arbitration with Wilder and couldn't fight. So people kind of seem to forget that as well. The other time when we tried to make the fight, he wanted 50-50 when Joshua was world champion and he drew with Wilder. So now he's world champion, he's offered AJ 60-40, which we accept. Last time we accept those terms for the fight. When AJ was champion and he wasn't, he wanted 50-50 and the fight never got made. But honestly, you can debate, it doesn't really, I'm so bored of talking about it because I'll tell you my version. He'll say in his Netflix stuff and stuff like that, oh, I tried so many times to make the AJ fight, just couldn't get it made. You know, not really. Did he want to fight him? Yeah, I think he probably did. Did AJ want to fight him? Yeah, he probably did. But it didn't happen. So honestly, like, it's just, all I'll tell you is AJ would fight anyone. And he wants the Fury fight badly, and he wants the Wilder fight badly. Yeah.
It's not really going to be a situation where this fight can happen too late, because the emphasis around the unbeaten fighters, that doesn't really matter. But there will come a point.
You still want it. You don't want, what you want is, you want, in an ideal world, AJ beats Salinas, AJ beats Wilder, and then he fights Tyson Fury, and that's probably the biggest fight of all time. But what you don't want is Fury loses to Usyk, you know, AJ takes a defeat or whatever, and then it's still a massive fight, and it will still be huge. But I want to see them guys coming off wins and looking like they're in their prime, you know. So we shall see. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what Fury does, because if Usyk beats Dubois, he's going to have to fight the winner of Hrgovic-McKean, probably in December. And then Fury's going to fight Ngannou in October. And then I don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah, right, you and Chisora.
Mm.
Yeah, a bit of a funny start to that press conference. It looked like he threw you a little bit with that. I know it's Del Boy being Del Boy, but
I don't know. He says some strange things. A bit like what he said to Campbell Han. Thought it was a bit strange as well. But Del Boy's Del Boy. The only thing with Del Boy is he has chilled a lot. Like, I used to be genuinely petrified of Del Boy. You know, when he was proper raw and like just aggy and ready to go at any stage. He's still got that capability, but he's a nicer guy now, and you know.
Because it comes across sometimes that he does kind of mean it, like some of the things. It's not the first time he's kind of said comments to you and about you. But at least he says it to your face, to be fair.
He was pretty correct in what he said. He said, you didn't want to pay for me to fight on this card. And the answer is we have a budget for the show. It's AJ's show, and he was probably too expensive to add to the card in his entirety at that time. And obviously Skills Challenge, Prince Khalid helped make it happen. And so he was pretty, like, it's not really the kind of thing you'd say publicly like that, but that's Del Boy, isn't it? But it wasn't like it was. If he says something that I think's out of order or incorrect, I would say something, but I don't necessarily think it was the right time to say it then, but he was spitting facts, pretty much.
Have you heard any more about Dillian Whyte's situation?
No, nothing at all. I've been thinking about it a lot. Like, I don't really know. I mean, I don't represent him, so. But I don't know what the next steps are. You know. Obviously, it was a VADA test, and my other thought that I had was: do we introduce a Matchroom voluntary testing program, which I think would be a great look for the sport. You know, like WBC do with VADA, we'd do the same. And if you're a signed Matchroom fighter, you have to enter that voluntary testing pool. The problem is, as someone pointed out to me, what happens if you test positive?
Right.
What? So you get the results of, you know, say I sign you, right? And I say to you, KUGAN, if you want to be a Matchroom fighter, you've got to be part of and registered in our voluntary testing program. And you go, okay, no problem. And then you test positive, and I get the information. What happens?
Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay.
You know what I mean?
So who has the power to actually do anything about it? Do you have the power to do anything about it? No.
Really, that's what I'm saying. We're not a commission. We're not a regulatory body. We're not a governing body. Someone has to deal with the disciplinary process. And when you look at the issue of Dillian Whyte will want to try and clear his name. He's with, I think, the Portugal Boxing Commission. I'm not sure of their operation. I don't think they'd be necessarily equipped to handle a disciplinary issue like this. The board may look at it because it was a fight in the UK, I don't know, or may say Portugal deal with it. Public will want him to go through some kind of process. Do you understand? And it's like, I think we need to speak to the board as well about VADA testing on the whole, and maybe how it can be adjoined with UCAD. Because if we're paying for that process, that's on my breast, if we're paying for that process, it might as well be acknowledged, or that it would be good for there to be a process after the failed test. Do you understand? Where that a fighter can go immediately into. So right now it should be played out quite quickly, because the other thing, I think it takes too much time. So right now you almost feel like someone should be writing to Dillian saying, right, let's get this process started. We're looking into all the facts, we're looking into lab reports, we want your side of the story, let's have a hearing, let's do it, and move quickly. Just a thought, like it's just, I'm putting it out there. But I like the idea of that random testing program, because obviously UFC do it with USADA.
But effectively, what you're talking about is if someone did test positive under this program, all you could do is pass on information to the relevant people for them to make.
But who deals with it? That's the problem.
So if line this with the board?
Probably. I just feel like the board actually do a good job with UCAD in terms of they're one of the few commissions that actually have their members randomly tested. But not enough, because it's so expensive, like it's impossible to test every fighter all the time. But I don't think the board would necessarily say, well, if you're doing this VADA program, if someone tests positive, give it to us and we will do a full investigation. I think they'll say, don't really want to, you know, we've already got ours with UCAD, you know?
Food for thought.
Yeah, just honestly, just a thought. So, just putting it out there.
Purse bid's delayed for Adley and Wardley, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dillian Whyte has been speaking to, he's had an offer from Frank Warren to do that fight, one fight offer. And they're talking, we're talking. I spoke to Fabio Wardley last night. Obviously Dillian's team are dealing with it, but have got a lot on their plate as well. And we'll see what happens.
And in regards to Conor Benn, is there any updates regarding Conor Benn's situation with the British Boxing Board of Control?
Not as of yet, no.
Imminent?
Yeah, I think hopefully we can start progressing, really, and trying to find a way to get him in front of the board to apply for his licence.
Have you been given any indication that there will be a problem with him still obtaining his licence?
No. I mean, I don't know. been no only. I believe his team have reached out to the board, so that's a process he'd like to go through.
And your plan is to box Conor in September?
I think realistically, that may move to October now. We'll see what happens, but I think that Tony Sims would like him to get out quickly into a fight and then go into a big fight, but obviously Conor at the same time wants to move into the biggest fight possible ASAP. So we'll see what happens over the next couple of weeks with his licensing.
Depending on what happens, obviously, with Smith and Eubank, but that's something that could be revisited if Eubank was to win that.
Yeah, I mean, if Eubank won, the Conor fight, Jesus Christ, is huge. And if he doesn't lose too badly, we can still make that fight. But we've got other options. I like the Kell Brook fight. There's international fights for Conor as well, but we'll see what weight class he returns to.
Okay, Edward, I don't know where we are. Do you know where we are?
I was just thinking that, we're at Tower Bridge.
Tower Bridge. We don't really do this anymore, do you know that?
No, you missed it.
No, we don't do it because
you... like your energy's a bit off.
No, not really. I think...
No?
I see where it all changed.
What, Parsons?
Oh, here we go. It was...
Where did it all change?
It all changed. I don't know. When you started with the zone, and then the mood, the energy had changed a little bit from your side. No, I'm being serious.
Why? What are you talking about?
I don't know. It just felt like you thought
you like... and I thought, I don't need to talk to him anymore.
I just thought you thought, oh, do you know what? KUGAN, sold the camera.
Really, I just feel like you got a bit arrogant, made a lot of money, and thought, I don't need to really do as much as I used to. By the way, look at you go, boy. Hey? I told you, didn't I? You come to me, you said, ask me for a bit of promotional advice. I said, keep grinding, son. The tickets will go. What, 3 days to go, 100 tickets left. Go on, boy, we're heading for a sellout.
It's actually less now. It's 80 something tickets left. Yeah.
Listen, if you're watching this, on Sunday night, me and KUGAN and a number of special guests will be at the O2 Indigo for an IFL Live premiere. First time it's ever been done. Literally, the entire boxing world will be there. And he only has 86?
86 tickets, but this is... What day is this? Thursday night, so... Yeah. I'm hoping by tomorrow evening we're done with them.
Well, you've done well, my friend. So, if you're watching this, get online, IFL, Ticketmaster.
Ticketmaster, yeah.
And I'll order the last few tickets. It's going to be a great night. I'm going to be there. I look forward to seeing you all. And for now, the weigh-in is tomorrow. I don't know when this is going out.
This is going out, it's going out to the weigh-in's today. This is going out Friday.
The weigh-in is today. Shepherd's Bush, Westfield. Be there, 1 p.m. See you there.
Oh, by the way, just for IFL Live, do you own a wetsuit? No, because there's a couple of little games.
Mate.
No, I'm being serious. There is.
Are you fucking about?
Twister with you and John Fisher.
Yeah, great.
Big John Fisher.
I've not seen that in the contract.
No?
Yeah,
Okay.
Small print.
Yeah, so I always check the small print, Edward. Edward, listen, thank you very much for your time, as always. You didn't really have a choice because we're in the motor back to the hotel, but have you just got anything else you just want to say before we finish, mate?
Not really. Just keep smiling. Don't miss the big show Saturday night. Biggest non-pay-per-view card we've ever done. And enjoy it.
Somebody's got it into my head that Dempsey McKean to shock Hrgovic today.
Great fight.
Just put it in my head, just as a bit of an outside chance. Okay. What did you think?
Filip Hrgovic been highly inactive, didn't look great in his last fight, and that was against a southpaw as well. Dempsey McKean has trained his nuts off, super fit, been working well with Tony Sims. Chance of a lifetime for him. It's a great fight.
It's a heavyweight night not to be missed. Edward, thank you very much, and we will see you later on at the weigh-in. We're over and out.
Ciao.
Join us for the very first IFL Live at London's Indigo at the O2, Sunday, August the 13th, with me, KUGAN CASSIUS, and some very special guests. Eddie Hearn, Darren Barker, Johnny Fisher, and more. Tickets now on sale. So in the words of Eddie Hearn...
You get up, you dress up, and you fucking show up.